Good morning. Friday morning. It's raining. So weird, right? It seems almost like there's something wrong. Like, why is it raining? uh, well, I mean, it's good. My plants are super happy. I should have known that it would start raining because I set a sprinkler up last night for the plants. My tomatoes, the cucumbers look like they're growing. The tomatoes just kind of sitting there, though. I feel like they're not getting enough water to grow. They're not dying, but they're not really doing much either. So I hope we get a couple of big rains. They'll take off. I don't know. It's funny. This is the latest I've ever started them, so I don't know what that will mean. Maybe they're not gonna, they're really not gonna take off. I don't know. We'll see. Good morning, Sue. Happy rainy Friday. Hooray. And good morning, Ruth. Yeah, it's nice. So I guess today we have to work indoors, which is pretty good. I know you'll all be excited to know that I figured out how to get the wood that I need for my deck. My struggle is hopefully over. Hopefully they will be delivering it next week, I think. I don't know. We'll see. They may still cancel the order. That happens frequently when I have been ordering things. It's just like a game, So I order stuff from Lowe's and then I wait and see what happens. Sometimes they cancel the order. Sometimes I wait and see where it's getting delivered from and I cancel the order because it's a month from now that they say they're going to deliver it, if then. Hi, Deb. I had some wood that they wanted to bring to me from Seaford, and I thought, I can't wait that long, and that's too far. So it's kind of a mess, but I think I just changed what I did. So here's this is a good example of sort of like what we can do problem solving, right? So I was pretty messed up about it. I was really mad, because we planned this for a long time and we finally have some time to do it. And my son is around because he's not working. So I'm like, great, we can have some help and all this. Everything's lining up, right? And except we can't get the wood. And, I called all over the place. Everybody was out. And I was getting pretty annoyed. And then I was just like, well, this is it, right? I'm done. I'm not going to call anymore. I'm not going to look. I'm just going to wait. And we'll see what happens in a month or so. And talking with my husband, I was like, well, this is okay. I mean, we can't get it, but that doesn't mean it's not out there. It's just that I can't get it, which means the contractors are getting it, right? It's going to them because they have big accounts and everything. And rightly so. I mean, if you have, a fire or something is wrong with your house or you need to get something repaired, you need to get it done. And that's a lot more important than my deck. So I thought, well, I'll just wait for a month and see what things look like then. And then I had the idea, I don't know why. Oh, I guess we'd gone into Lowe's to look at something and I saw they had a lot of shorter wood. And I thought, well, maybe what if I redid it? What if I replanned it using shorter pieces of wood? Be more hammering, but might actually be able to get it done. So when I did that, I found that Middletown had what I needed for the base, and then just randomly, they also had the big pieces for the decking, which they didn't have last time I looked. So, um, fingers crossed. I may get an email where they say, "Nah, we're not bringing it," but who knows? Um, so this is, an idea, that we talk about in yoga is um, what you're what you're chasing is chasing you. So once we put things in motion, um, the universe wants things to happen, right? So you start putting things out there, you start moving, making calls, and starting to build some momentum. The universe is usually behind you, right? There's a force that's kind of starts to roll with this. Um, and sometimes, you come up against obstacles, right? And that's normal. Um, but you got to remember that, there are usually ways around. And if you really get to the point where you can't see any way around, you don't really know what to do, the best thing to do is to just stop and just wait, right? I think in our culture, waiting is underrated. We tend to think we got to just, you know, force our way through and just keep going. Even when everything starts to look pretty unfavorable all around you. So, um, know that there are other ways to do things. There's always other ways to do things, and there's nothing wrong with waiting. Right? If things don't seem like they're working, um, when the time is right, things fall into place, and that for me has been kind of one of my guiding principles in life. Is when it gets really complicated, you're probably going the wrong way. Turn around. Look for a different route, right? So if you think about it like a path through the woods, um, there are lots of ways to go. Some ways you're going to find are completely covered with like brambles and wires and vines, and you could take a machete and chop your way through, and you might eventually get through the path. But if you look over to the right, there's another path going the same way that might be perfect. So you might try that for a little while and see how that works. Um, so that's kind of it's a way of kind of getting where you want to go. Um, so our goals are good, right? Um, Although sometimes you end up adjusting your goal too, but it's how we get there that may change. So don't get so committed to the method that you lose the goal. And I think frequently we do that, right? We can't see the forest for the trees, right? The trees are in the way, and we're busy trying to chop them down. Um, but we didn't notice that if we just went over here a little ways, there are no trees at all. You could just walk right through. Um, so, lessons from a deck. But we have these things happen in our life all the time, right? And what I also notice is when at the point at which you start to get really worried and anxious about these things, which is at the point at which you should stop, or maybe before then, before you get too uh, bent out of shape about it. That's when something changes, right? when something pops up, different, more information, different information. Um, and there you go. It's getting really dark in here. I think we're just gonna keep going as it is, because I'm afraid if I mess with the curtains too much, then we're gonna get too much light and it's gonna wash it all out. So we're gonna do yoga. It's gonna be kind of dark, but that's okay. All right, so let's do some asana. And in your practice, if you find resistance, right, think about moving around the resistance, maybe through the resistance. Think about adjustments that you might make to make that pose a little more accessible. And if you find yourself feeling frustrated with a pose, then just stop. Just try something else, or just wait. There's no reason that you have to be able to do everything every day. We want to, take everything into account, and we're going to have days that aren't going to be the best. You're going to, I'm here 6 days a week, right? So you're seeing me in all of my real glory here. This is how I really am every single day. And, some days I'm going to be tired. Some days I'm going to be energetic. Some days I'm not going to really feel all that much like being here, right? But I'm here because this is my commitment. This is this is part of my sadhana, right? So sadhana is what we do as kind of a dedication. It's kind of a spiritual commitment to something greater than ourselves. And people do all different things for their sadhana. They might light candles and burn incense, or pray, or do good works, or everybody has something that they do to help. And this is part of mine, doing this. So yeah, it's very real. I'm not, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this, rather than just put some videos up for you to watch, because it's different. I feel like it's different. We're all here together at the same time, and we all are feeling different ways. Some days good, some days not so good. Some days it's hot, some days it's rainy. Some days we feel demoralized by what's going on in the world. Some days we have hope. So whatever you're feeling and whatever is going on with you is fine. It's good. And know that tomorrow will be different, and the day after that will be different. And we just work with what we have today, right? And it's all good. Hi, Rachel. Yeah. So let's do some asana. Do some movement. All right, I'm moving back here. You know what? It is too dark. I'm going to see about this. Changing weather conditions. Okay, that looks better. Yeah, that's definitely better. Okay. Breathe. Shoulders back. And let that breath give you what you need today. So if you need some energy, imagine that breath is kind of firing up the body, getting things moving, and stoking that fire of Agni, that metabolism in the body. And if you feel already stressed, already overwhelmed, maybe wound too tight this morning, let that breath loosen it up. Wash out the anxiety and the worry. And we are focused on that center. One more breath. Chin down toward the chest. Let the head hang down. And then we're moving in a big circle. One way and the other. Breath here. Lean forward and moving around. One way and the other. Back to your seat. Arms wide. Deep breath in. Exhale. Hands together. Inhale wide. Exhale. Hands together. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers. Lift the hands. Gaze up. And then arms down by your side. Inhale, lift. And lower. Lift. And lower. Once more, lift. And then this one, we're going to bring left hand down, reach across with the right. Switch sides. And back up. Lift the shoulders, roll back. And forward. Left hand, or right hand on left knee. Left arm behind. It doesn't really matter. Sitting up tall and twist. Doesn't matter which one you start with. We're going to do both, right? Back to center, switch sides. Back to center. Tabletop. Sitting back on the heels. And then moving back up. Tabletop, take a few sets of cat-cow. Working through the spine, inhales and exhales. Back to your neutral spine. We're going to inhale, lift that right arm high. And on the exhale, bringing it under the left, setting down on the shoulder. Moving back up. Right arm lifts again. Set it down. Left arm lifting high. And then reaching under. Breathe. Back up. Left arm lifts. And then let's sit back again. Child's pose. Maybe knees a little wider this time. Folding forward. Moving back up. Tabletop to downward dog. You can move around here if you want. Walking the feet up to the hands. We're here in a fold. Take a few breaths. And then rise up slowly. Breath in and breath out. I put the fan on. It's a tiny little room and it's very stuffy. I have a little air moving. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stepping back with the right. Drop your knee, arms overhead. Hands to the mat, stepping back. Downward dog. Inhale, forward to high plank. And lower. Inhale, lift, head and chest. Lower down. Inhale, lift, head and chest. lower. Once more, lifting head and chest. And lower. Making your way back up. Tabletop to downward dog. One more breath here. And then on the exhale, we're stepping up the right foot. Left knee drops, arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. Step the back foot up and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we're lifting high, arms overhead, back to mountain. Breath in and out. Inhale, lift, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, left foot steps back. Drop your knee, arms overhead. Hands to the mat, stepping back, downward dog. Inhale, move to high plank, and lower. Inhale, we're lifting head and chest, and lower. Inhale, lift. Lower down. And once more, lifting up head and chest. Lower back down. Let's bring the arms out in front. We're going to stack one arm on top of the other and just set the head down. Maybe set the forehead. Bring the feet a little wider on the mat. So as you're breathing, see if you can notice how the back and the sides expand with your breath. Sometimes it's kind of a weird sensation, right? We're not really used to it. But just like we work on the body to get it to be strong and flexible, we can work on the breath to make it more adaptable as well. So there are different things you can do, right? Laying on your belly is one thing because it's kind of different, right? We're not expanding the front of the body like we normally do. for doing the back. I've been at classes and workshops where they have you lay on your back and then they put sandbags on your front, right? Which sounds like some kind of a torture, but actually it's just a technique. And then that kind of forces you to use the side body to expand, right? So there are a lot of different things you can do, especially if you don't feel like you have a nice, strong breath. You can use some of these props to kind of get deeper into the spaces where your body can expand for breath. And then we're going to move back up. Tabletop downward dog. Take one more breath. Then left foot steps up. Arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. Step the back foot up and fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift arms high. And back to mountain. Take a breath. And let's do some balance. Tree to start, standing on the left. We're bringing the foot in wherever you find your balance. Right knee rotates out to the side. Nice and upright with the body. Keep breathing. Keep working that strength through the legs and the body. Trying to relax the shoulders. Make sure you're not clenching the jaw, holding the breath. None of those things. Gaze is eye level or higher. Ideally, with most of balance, we really are trying not to look down. Right? Looking down, you start focusing on the floor, and that's going to bring you more to the floor. So we lose our balance that way. And then set your foot back down. We're going to stand on the right, bringing in that left foot. Left knee rotates out. Steady here. You could extend the arms if you want. Keep the breath moving. And then bring everything back down, bicycle legs. And we're going to step out into Warrior 3. So giving yourself a little room in front, hands together, take a breath. And then we're going to step forward with the left and begin lifting the right as we lean forward. So even in this pose, we're trying to look a little ahead. Instead of looking straight down, we're looking out a little ways. Even if you are all the way lifted here, we're still looking up here, not straight down here. Right? It helps keep you lifted. It just gives you a lightness to the pose. And then set the foot back down. We'll switch. Breath in here. And then stepping out with the right. Lifting as much as we're leaning forward. Maybe airplane arms if you feel like that's your thing today. Keep breathing. And then set the foot back down. Both feet together, arms overhead. Deep breath. And then back to mountain. Breath in. And breath out. Up at the top of the mat, arms overhead. Breathe in, breathe out, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back, downward dog. So from here, we're going to go up to high plank, and then we're going to come back to downward dog. And we're going to do that 3 times, okay? So on your inhale, we're moving forward to high plank. Exhale, moving back. Inhale. Exhale. And you can always hold, right, for a breath if you want. Inhale, coming forward. Moving back on an exhale. One more. Come forward and lower down. So those are like the best kind of push-ups that you can do, right? You're going to get all the benefits, well, pretty much all the benefits of a push-up without working the shoulders, without that instability that sometimes we get when we're trying to lower down. So it's going to help you with the core and all of that, shoulder strength. So if you want to throw those into your repertoire, they're not a bad thing to do. Like sun salutations, which are also good. It's kind of a, you're doing a lot. There's a lot of body, different body parts, different muscles groups that you're using with that. So if you had like 5 minutes to do some exercise, that wouldn't be a bad choice. Sun salutations, and then that move from downward dog to high plank, which is even less involved than the sun salutations. But again, it's a good way to kind of warm up the body using things in kind of a whole way. So we're here. We're going to turn head to the right. If you see me having trouble sometimes doing this, it's usually because my earrings get in the way. See, about the only time they ever bother me is when I try to turn my head to the side. They have to be just in the right place. Otherwise, they're like digging into my head. So that's what that's about. And just enjoy resting here for a few breaths. Moving back to center. Coming up for Sphinx pose. Elbows are close to the body, right under the shoulders. Hands pressing down. And then we're kind of lifting the body, pulling the shoulders back, steady gaze directly in front. And if you've got a lot of flexibility and you want to move into something more here, the next step of this is called seal. And we're pressing down with the hands, lifting up. Right? So if you've got low back issues, or I wouldn't recommend going all the way up. You could try and see where you get with that. It's just another way, a deeper way of doing that stretch. And then we're all going to come back down. Head turns left. Head back to center. We're going to bring the arms out in front. I'm going to cue half bow, but you can absolutely do full bow. In that case, you do 2 full bow, so 1 for each side that we're going to work on. We're going to have arms out in front. Right knee bends, right arm comes back. We're going to reach for the foot or the ankle, whatever you can reach here. If you aren't able to reach anything, then we're just going to make that movement as if we are reaching back. And then we're pressing down with the left hand to lift the body, and then maybe lift the knee a little also. Pressing the foot into the hand. Release. Let's just take a breath or two here. Set the head down. And then we're going to work on the left side. So if you can't lift up high at all with this, don't worry about it. All we're trying to do is press down with the arm that's extended, and lift, trying to sort of lift the body while we're lifting the leg at the same time. And if you're not getting very high, it's fine. We're just working wherever you are. Reaching back. And then also you want to bring the knee close to the other leg. So you just don't want to have your knee way out to the side, right? You want to bring it in. Nice straight line. And then we're lifting. Breathe. And lower down. Let's bring the hands in front and just set the chin down. Take a few breaths. We can turn So we've got toes in, heels out, or you could do heels in, toes out, whichever feels most natural for you. Then we're going to start coming back up again. So tabletop, child's pose. Back up, tabletop to downward dog. And walk your feet up, moving down into a seat. Soles of the feet together. We're sitting up tall. Deep breath in, and then moving forward with the body. And breathe. So every day is different experience with asana. The body is different. The way we feel about it is different. So release that desire to quantify everything, to compare everything about your practice. And just notice where you are today. One back up, both legs out in front. Arms overhead, deep breath. Fold forward. Moving back up. Let's bring the legs wide on the mat. And then you can walk the hands out if you want, bringing the body down, or you could bring hands out to the side, resting them on the legs. Your choice. Neither is better than the other. They're just different ways, different things to do. Moving back up, bring the feet so they're closer, maybe the width of the mat. Right foot in by the thigh. Sit up nice and tall, and then turning the body so we're facing this left leg. Arms overhead, deep breath in, fold forward. Moving back up, switch your legs. And turn to face this right leg. Deep breath in, arms overhead, fold forward. Walk your hands back up. Both legs straight out in front. Deep breath in, fold forward. And then moving back up, bend the knees, soles of the feet to the mat. We're lowering down, we're rocking back. So we're resting on the mat. Take a few breaths. And then we're going to hug the right knee into the chest. Extend the left. Lowering that knee out to the side. And then bringing it across. And we're back. Center switch. Breathe. Lower that knee out to the side. And then bringing it across the body, rolling up on the right hip. And back to center. Both feet to the mat, setting up for bridge. Heels back, close to the body. Hands by your side. We're going to press down, hands and feet, lifting up the hips. Then lower down. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. Relax and breathe. And then we're going to move into Shavasana. You can just extend the legs or however you want to get there. Feeling steady here. Feeling the support of the earth underneath the body. Let yourself sink down into the mat. Releasing any tension or worries. Knowing that for this moment, these few moments, there is nothing you need to do. Know where you need to go. No problem to solve. No answer to find. So when we are in peaceful dhyana, right? When we are meditating, when we are working on our center, making that connection to the greater consciousness, it's extremely restful and extremely energizing at the same time, right? It's like recharging a battery. Or if you've ever like plugged in your laptop, sometimes your phone does it too. So on my laptop, when you plug it in, it it lights up, right? The screen gets brighter. Everything is working better, right? Because it has a power source. It's not working on this stored power. So think of that universal consciousness, that oneness is like a giant source of power for us and energy. When we tap into that, when we get aligned with that, we can take advantage of that. We can feel that strength and support, giving us energy, giving us that boost, right, that we might need. So if you're having a down sort of day or a day where you feel not much energy, doing some meditation, you might think that that is not going to work, right? It's sort of that'll make you too tired or too exhausted, but it'll actually recharge you a little bit. Having that peaceful time, and kind of getting in that place in your body, in your mind, um, will give you a little more energy to keep going. So, um, meditation every day is good, but meditation on those sorts of days is really good. It can help you when you feel very depleted and very kind of done with everything. Um, I think of meditation is like going home, right? And they say you can't go home again, right? And, I mean, it's true, right? You can't go back in time. But going home, that idea of going home at the end of a hard day, is a very appealing one, right? We love that, right? Love to come home to a nice, peaceful house where you have all of your things, and you know how things are. There's no mysteries, no whatever. We're just enjoying our being home. Meditation is the same way. We are going back to the source. We're going back to the place from which we came. And it is a reminder, right? Reminds us of who we are, where we came from, how we are all connected. Um, and it gives us kind of that sense of purpose to move on, to keep going. So when you're ready, moving a little, fingers and toes, hands and feet, stretching, maybe making your way up to a seat. But if you just want to stay on your mat, that's fine too. I'm not going to tell anyone. I wouldn't even know. We'll bring hands together. Deep breath in and out. Thank you for taking some time today to come to yoga, to share with everyone here. I hope you have a lovely day. Namaste. Thank you for coming to class on this rainy day. I always think that this is the sort of day that would be nice for a yoga nidra. We're going to have to do some yoga nidra. So yoga nidra it's kind of like an extended meditation, but you do it laying down, which is kind of great, right? The struggle with that is to try to stay awake, but sometimes you go in and out, and that's fine. But it's a guided meditation, right? So I'm talking sort of the whole time, and we're kind of moving through different stages of meditation with that. So we're going to do that. Today would have been such a good day for that because it's so rainy and whatnot. Oh, thanks, Deb. But we're bound to have another rainy day someday, or really any day that seems like a good day for it. But yeah, I'll have to get one of those together for us. Okay, so enjoy your Friday. I'll be here Saturday. I know a lot of people don't come to Saturday class, so I might not see you till Monday, and that's fine. I hope you find something fun to do for the weekend. And there's no holiday this weekend, but that's okay. You can still do something fun. Um, and I will see you next time I see you.